Yo, 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 what's up? What's up? This your guy Ray Hama, one versus a million. Let me know if I can be heard. Yes, we are going to be covering episode 5 and 6 of Solo Leveling. Like and share, hit the like button, share, share, share. Also, if you feel generous, you get the Cash App, Ray Hama. It's in the description. So yeah, man, this was these two episodes was awesome. Um, I really appreciate it. So it was really decent. Really, I have hardly any complaints with these two. So I'm going to cover these episode 5 and 6 before episode 7 comes out, which should be real soon. Because yeah, these weeks are kind of going by fast. Yeah, what a hell of a year to be alive, man. Because there's a whole bunch of stuff been coming out. Some movies and shows I haven't seen yet, and and also let me throw that out there for you guys. If you guys don't know already, that Spawn is coming out with its reboot, and but the title is going to be King Spawn. So yeah, and yes, we're going to dive into it. Solo Leveling episode 5. All right, so yeah, let's dive into it, man, because this was decent. So yeah. Our boy Jinwoo, he raises suspicion with the girl, the female hunter, whose name is Cha Hae-in. When she called him at the boss's gate, the area boss's gate. She noticed that he had like a weapon in his hand, you know, and, uh, but but she knows, he also quickly made it vanish too as well, so just so she wouldn't notice. And one thing I thought was kind of crazy was that that she has this scent, because she always has this handkerchief, to cover her face because she can't stand the scent uh of a lot of different, hunters. But for some reason, though, with Jinwoo, she says, he's a hunter. He's the only hunter that she came across where that has a pleasant scent. I was like, oh, okay, all right, let's all right. She might be having a thing, for our boy Jinwoo. Okay, let's see how this goes. And because her thing is, in these which has been her like regular duty that she's established for herself, or that was established to her within her guild, for her to go and protect the mining teams, just in case of whatever happens. So, um, yeah, so we have like, next thing the mining team wants Song to join their squad permanently. They're like, shit, we like your work. The Song Woo, the Jim Woo, he's in there working hard, boy. You see him too. I'm like, damn, this dude, hey, he working. He ain't playing no games. And the mining team is really impressed. They're like, man, you saving us days of work, man. Hell yeah. And even the supervisor of the mining team, he's like, hey man, will you come back and work for us, Song? Because man, hey, I'll pay you 5 times more. So I'm like, shit, hey, you know, he can look at that as like, hey, whenever he want to make a little money or whatever, he can go, or whatever he wants to get, he can go and work for them. But we know his main purpose, is to get strong enough to where so he can defeat whatever boss he needs to defeat, so he can obtain this item, so he can create this elixir of life for his mother, which is honorable. So yeah, um, I'm like, man. Next thing I see, where Hunter Cha Hae-in, the female hunter, she's really, she's in her bed, just man, just wrestling around her bed, like thinking about Sun Jiwoo, like, oh, she's just so curious about him, like, oh, like, just her thing is tingling now. I'm like, okay, all right, and um, because and also too in this scene, she's talking to a guy from the association on the phone, and she's because she calls him up and to ask him to dig into Sung Jin Woo, because she wants to know. And so he tells her, he's like, hey, all the association sealed his records, so so nobody would know about him. So yeah, they even made her even more curious. So while they're chilling and eating with his crew, the mining crew, Sung Jin Woo noticed that this guy who's a captain of an attack team, his guild his guild leaders made him a captain, or basically said like, hey, you complete this mission, you come back, you're gonna be made captain. So, and this captain's name is Sun Ki-hoon. Yeah, he came to the mining team asking, hey, to borrow someone because they're missing a luggage guy, a guy that carries the luggage. So they was like, hey man, we're short-handed, ourselves too, man. Hey, we really ain't got nobody spare like that. But Sung Jin Woo, he offered, to join because he's like, hey, this could be a great opportunity for me, So even though like he's supposed to be like as the luggage guy, we know he's still gonna be on something, something's gonna happen where he's gonna get involved, but he's not the type that wants to like show that he's loves ingratiating himself, or putting himself on the spotlight or whatever. He just likes to be in the shadows with it. He's not flashy, basically. So yeah. So when they get to the gate, the entrance of the gate, Jin Woo noticed that the gate is bigger than it was yesterday. And I wrote that down, in my notes because I'm like, okay, they still talking about the reads and shit, doing reads on the gates or whatever. I'm like, you guys gonna have to exercise or form some kind of caution in handling with these gates because they're unpredictable. Simple that, like I'm not gonna mark this gate down. Okay, is this gate is rank C, and there's been reports of gates basically turn out being higher than what they actually are reading off as. Especially when soon as you go into it, and on top of that, hell to boot, when you go in the damn gate, it may morph into something else like shit, a whole red gate. I'm like, oh hell no. So only thing I can see with that is, okay, send some higher rank hunters through the gate, no matter what's his reading off as. I don't give a damn that gate is ranked the E. Because of phenomenal shit happening like it did that time when it changed into a red gate. So they aside, Jin Woo and the Ki-hoon, the captain, there were the party was of this, was of 6 A rank and 3 B rank hunters. Those were those on the attack team. So, which you have like what, a couple or a few mages there. So yeah. So after entering the gate, Jin Woo says, he's feeling like he has an ominous premonition. Similar to when confronting the red gate, as I mentioned before. The red gate that appeared after they went through a gate that was suspected to be ranked, I think B or A. So yeah. But then, he was thinking like, hey, he was overthinking. But then again, yeah, his premonition was right because they were attacked by some dungeon jackals, as they call them. It was about demon-like hound-looking things. So, yeah, But in the team, after they defeat these creatures, yeah, I don't think Jinru he just sat back in this one, until here a little bit later. He just let them, took out the jackals, just because he was the one to see and observe, hey, what all they can do. And man, I was like, okay, I was like, I'm digging it. I'm digging the squad. They don't seem to, appear to be weak. Okay, all right. Until, until, yeah, yeah. After they defeated the jackals, Jinwoo noticed the jackals had a collar. You know, they had a collar, assuming that basically they was raised to be, as hunting dogs. So his premonition was right because as soon as they looked up, a band of hard orcs was approaching. And boy, these motherfuckers, boy, they look like, boy, they ready to bring some destruction. So Captain Song and his team, they fought the orcs, but ended up struggling to a point where Jinwoo had to step in, and he stepped in, man, something nice, something unexpected. I think I remember, or someone vaguely remember of him gaining this skill, the stealth skill that, if you guys seen the episodes, that he displayed. That was pretty nice right there. Yes, sirs. Oh man, when he intervened, I was like, where he had all that one orc all choked up. I'm like, oh hell no! While he was in the stealth skill, and everybody was like, well, what's going on? What's happening? And then as they know, sooner than they realized, hey, the Jinwoo, it was Jinwoo that basically was weakening them for them, so it would be appear as though they defeated them. But after they defeated those high orcs, one of the hunters, the female maid, she noticed Jinru, his ability. She looked back, she was like, yeah, I know it was you that had something to did something, to these motherfuckers, to these orcs. Cause she was like, hey, you think, you underestimated your the attack team and the mages, because she said the mages are able to see those who operate in stealth skills. So I'm like, oh, man, that would be good, a good thing for him to know, because I don't know. Because if he did, then there would be no care. He wouldn't have cared then to use that stealth skill. But he was just trying to keep himself concealed. He didn't want, because as we know at this point, he's not trying to let it be all out there of what he can do. So he's trying to still operate and upgrade from the shadows. So, yeah. So after taking out the orcs, the team, they worked it out with the captain. Whereas he decided, hey, because he was gonna go further in. Not knowing what's ahead. And they was like, hey man, we these guys are this damn strong. Yeah, and we are halfway worn out. So yeah, it'll be best for us to go back and regroup, and get some more people. So, so yeah, so they decided to retreat, to go to the barrier. Let's see, but in coming to this barrier though, it wasn't an ordinary barrier. It was a magic. Uh, when they went to the gate, they realized it was a barrier, but it was a magic barrier. And what was unique about this barrier was, as they was trying to dismantle this barrier, those in the party that had control of magic and stuff, um, they ended up realizing that the barrier was cursed. That's the unique. That was the one unique thing about it. So it ended up basically totally affecting them on the inside. The three mages that was at the gate trying to dismantle it. But see, the one who set up the barrier, though, man, as we'll find out who it was that did it, because as they will in here in the next couple moments, because when they looked up behind them, they see a lot more orcs approaching them. High orcs, more than before. You see, and one of them was chosen to be possessed by their leader, who happens to be an orc himself. And he's basically the leader of the orcs, and he's basically demanding for them to come to him. And if not, they refuse and choose to fight, then they're gonna perish. And yeah, so they chose to go with him. So yeah, because them orcs, they was looking like they was gonna give them the business. But either way, I still have faith that my boy Jinwoo would have came out with something, out of the hat. I believe he would have came out the hat with something. So yeah. So they went, because boy, I'm like, man, they was about to get demolished if they didn't go. But before they left, they planned on before they left with the orcs, they was basically saying, hey man, we're gonna they was talking to Jinwoo about it, basically saying what they was gonna do. The captain, they decided, okay, if it's gonna be like this, we're gonna plan on sacrificing ourselves, by trying to take out their leader, and one of the hunters, one of the mages, the female mage, she gave a short wheel book to give Jinwoo. She gave to him to give to her people in her family, because they're planning on sacrificing themselves. And they say, like, okay, when that happens, when it all kicks off, they want Jinwoo to run back and to the guild, and and report to the association, about what happened and everything. So yeah, that was the end of that episode, and then we go into episode 6. For episode 6, where the female hunter Cha, I'm gonna call her Cha, or Cha Hayen. Yeah, she walks. She walks into the gate. Because she's looking for son Jinwoo. Like I said, she's really curious. She got that Curious George syndrome about her. She had, she's so curious about him. So yeah, the association agents and her went in. They went in after her. Man, it was a badass fight in this episode, y'all. Woo! Yeah. Yes. Ah! I was like, boy, because they didn't say it. They didn't see my boy. I'm like, they didn't know he had a everywhere he goes, he got an army with him. You hear me? He got an army with him. He pulled the army out on the dude because um the orc, who's basically he called himself a great sorcerer or whatever. You know, he thought him and his four lieutenants he had with him. Uh, his orcs are supposed to be like ranked higher than the rest of the how orcs. They're supposed to be of the most skilled. They got defeated. And because boy, but before it all kicked off, man, the whole squad, they was in fear, man. You know, their plan did not their plan did not go as well as they thought. Uh, because the captain, he got dealt with quick by the sorcerer. When the sorcerer used some kind of telekinesis ability on him, some Darth Vader kind of shit. So yeah, I'm tossing him aside with that. I'm like, ooh, he got that kind of ability. I'm like, boy, I wonder what Sung Jinwoo's gonna do with this one. Defeats him, little to no difficulty whatsoever. With no problem. So yeah, the party and the agents and child witness, they were sitting back witnessing Sun Jinwoo's power at the time, you know, and they're up in shock and awe and amaze. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, so I'm like, they see you, boy. I'm like, you exposed yourself now. He's talking about, oh, he got too careless. I'm like, well, there's a situation of where hey, you had no choice, either reveal your power, what you can do, because they seen the whole shebang. Ain't like Sun Jinwoo showed a little bit. Yeah, he showed that big part of what he can do, which is basically conjure up, those his shadow army. And yeah, that's what they were witnessing. The party that was with him and the agents that came in with the female hunter Cha. So a great deal of her curiosity, is fulfilled, and and she's seeing him like, oh my God, this is Sun Jinwoo, the E rank hunter. Oh, you know she's getting wet. You know she's getting wet. Ah. So yeah, so news of his power spread it to other guilds as they clearly show. So I'm like, oh, I'm wondering, man, I know this is gonna be an interesting tug of war with these guilds and trying to recruit Sung Jinwoo. Because yeah, especially Hu Jinho, whose father obviously desires, to have Sung Jinwoo on the squad too. So yeah, so he tells his father, so he tells Jinwoo about his father's desire for him to join his guild. And one thing I'm curious about though is like right at the end, right smack dead at the end when they showed this kid in this car. I'm like, who is that? I'm like, huh. I'm like, what kind of hunter is he, or what does he have to do with the association? So, and that won't come until episode 7, hopefully. But what I was expecting with this man was, like, where's bro's father, man? Where's Jinwoo's father? I want to see more. I want to see more because he's like coming like, power. It's definitely like saying like Omni Man power, some Viltrumite power or something. It's where they show like, how quick he took out that one S rank hunter. If he took him out, man, with that much force and power, if we're gonna analyze it, on some death battle kind of shit, right? If we're gonna analyze it like that quick and that, and well, with that level of power, Yeah, yeah, I can say yeah, he's woo. And let's say that ain't his let's say that ain't Mr. Sung, Jinwoo's father, let's say that ain't his top level of performance. Oh, yeah. If they show a little bit more of him or whatever, I can see cats using him in fight comparisons later on down the road. But man, I mean, it's just made me more curious. I'm like, damn it, man, come on, you damn animes, y'all show a badass character like that, and then y'all take a long ass time to show him again. Just keep me at the edge of my seat. Want more and more. But even still, though, aside from his, his power and the little he displayed that spiked everyone's curiosity. I know they're showing us, because this, in accordance with the show, is solo leveling. So I think it's going to be a long battle of them trying to recruit Sung because, hence, with the title, he's going to be rocking solo probably for however long. And I'll say this, like I said before, it'll be wise for him to go with one of the most powerful, one of the two most powerful guilds. I think that guild is the association. And I don't know if it's the association is just confounded within just that region, or if it's comprised of, or the association is comprised of multitudes of different hunters ranging from other countries. Huh. So I'm curious on that, and I think in this episode when Jinwoo, start fighting with the high orcs, and man, it was just a magnificent battle, man. As soon as he started engaging with them, all the way into that cave of that entrance of that gate, even before they get to the throne room of the sorcerer orc. I think that was the magnificent display right there. And also, let me not forget, and I'm like, oh God, I'm like, how I didn't keep that in mind. Damn it, man. Because if it was a video game, I'd do it to some degree on a couple of games. Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, and Shadows of Mordor, where you have the ability to recruit the dead, to join your ranks to fight for you. I'm like, damn it, man. I'm like, how come I ain't think of that? Like, I'm like, come on, man. Like, all those high, powerful orcs too now on his squad too. Oh man, my boy is coming with power. You hear me, man? All at his disposal, and however strategically he wants to use them. Man, magnificent. I'm like, yes, I can't wait. So, thank you guys for coming through. Like, share, and subscribe, and leave your thoughts. And if you want to also come up on the panel, and if you want me to open up the panel for you guys to come up and chop it up about these shows, let me know in the comment section. The next time when the episodes come out, the later episodes, I will fit that in. So, until then, catch you guys later, and we'll get it then. And please also, if you're feeling generous, hit the Cash App too as well. Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for coming through. This is Ray Hama. I'm out. Peace.